a comedian who dares to defy all odds and goes out of his way to challenge woke culture that has been plaguing the nation for decades. For many, Bill Burr is known for his over-the-top and bold stand-up comedy routines, but his jokes hold a deeper meaning and highlight the relevant issues in American society. The comedian's mere existence spites the woke mob, which has been making efforts to blacklist him from the entertainment industry. But unlike many fallen celebrities, Bill Burr is a knight in shining armor who has survived the blazing winds of cancel culture and is still kicking the hornet's nest to shed a light on the woke mob's dangerous ideology. Bill Burr started his career in 1992, and since then he's been making waves in the entertainment industry as his stand-up routines were unique in nature, which featured him talking about everyday issues in a bold comedic manner. But after the 2010s, Burr noticed that the culture around him was changing, and the rise of the political correctness movement was sabotaging the right of free speech and expression, where celebrities were given never-ending lists of words or phrases that they couldn't say on national television. But instead of giving up his freedom for fame, Bill stayed true to himself and spoke his truth the way he used to do in his stand-up routines, which led to many talk show hosts and producers being uncomfortable with his presence during interviews. This became apparent when Burr was invited on Good Morning Texas and began testing the limits of censorship of the morning TV show.
My first thought is this is the best week to be here, the week before the Super Bowl.
That is so true.
Before all the whores fly in, you know?
Yeah. But
just want to get out.
Wow.
Just want to get out of here before that. What is true? This is like the Oscars for prostitutes.
Okay, all right.
This entire week.
Can you see him?
Yeah, that's the. Oh, that's one of the founding fathers who said that all men are created equal as long as they're white.
For any other celebrity, the interview could have been a career-ending moment, but for Burr, it was the perfect time to highlight the absurdity of morning shows that followed a politically correct script that news outlets used to attract a wider demographic. By showing the world that he did not bow down to the pressure of media outrage, Bill Burr made a name for himself in the entertainment industry and eventually became a prey in the eyes of the woke mob. As time went on, Bill Burr began excelling in his career, from hosting stand-up specials to making his own TV shows. The comedian became a phenomenon in the entertainment industry, but the hardest obstacle to climb wasn't the conflict of schedules. Instead, it was the survival against the new wave of woke culture, where many people began expressing their opinions about Burr on social media platforms. Burr's infamous jokes began resurfacing online, which led to many calling him out for being a racist and sexist. But instead of backing down and adapting to the new woke culture, the comedian stood his ground and began doubling down on his jokes to infuriate the woke mob even more. This time the jokes highlighted the issues of the woke mob being biased towards women.
Went a little too far, you know.
As far as what?
Well, they thought that maybe you were being disrespectful to the Christian religion.
Who did?
I'm telling you, you need to Google.
Oh, good Lord.
So did you feel you were being disrespectful, or just you were just having fun with some of the crucifixes and stuff like that?
I don't even know what I mean, we did maybe 2 jokes about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you think the Catholic Church went a little too far? More so than my cartoon?
All right, listen. The hatred from the woke mob fueled the comedian even more, motivating him to make even more jokes that the outraged crowd deemed offensive. Even after making infamous headlines on liberal news outlets, Burr showed no signs of stopping, which eventually made him one of the most infamous celebrities in Hollywood. In order to make the best out of public outrage, Burr used controversy as a tool for his success, where the more he offended the liberals, the more it made him relevant in the current generation. But unlike the woke mob, Burr's fans knew that his jokes were more than just mockeries towards women and white people. Instead, they highlighted the growing issues of inequality among the American population, where women were favored more than men and how entitlement among them had gotten out of control, so much so that a man would lose his job if he challenged a woman's baseless accusation. In order to bring back order in society and put the woke mob back in its place, Burr continued his fight against woke ideologies and challenged anyone who tried to entrap him into admitting defeat. But just like the comedian, the leftist media didn't stop their efforts either. As during an interview on Fox 5, Burr was asked about his opinion on offending the Christian community by using religious imagery in his animated series, which led to Burr clapping back at the host. The comedian's response shocked to the hosts and showed the media outlet that he was untouchable and nothing could faze him at this point. According to Burr, in today's media and film industry, the woke mob is too focused on canceling a specific individual instead of looking at the bigger picture, as the left tends to shy away from megacorporations and institutions, but will ambush someone for a joke or opinion they said decades ago, all because they know that hunting down one man is easier than going after a corporation. Due to this, Burr dedicated his career to preventing woke narratives from brainwashing the general population and fight against the actual injustices that are happening on a daily basis. But bashing talk show hosts on morning shows and putting entitled women back in their place was just the beginning for the bold comedian, as he was going to take a deep dive into the realm of woke propaganda and show the world how the woke mob had hijacked Black History Month and was using minorities as a tool for promoting their own biased agendas. But in order to do just that, Burr wanted a platform that was bigger than his typical stand-up shows, and tried looking for opportunities to infiltrate the media and spread the truth. To his luck, the comedian was invited to be a special guest on Saturday Night Live. The producers of the show admired Burr's satirical style of comedy and wanted him to host the show. The comedian knew this was the perfect moment to reach a wider audience and expose the woke culture for what it truly is. Burr started his opening monologue with a bang and called out people that believed in leftist ideologies for ruining the actual meaning of the woke movement and using it as a medium to push their own agendas.
Just to refresh your memory, the woke movement was supposed to be about people of color not getting opportunities, the at-bats that they deserved, finally making that happen. And it was about that for about 8 seconds. And then somehow, white women swung their Gucci-booted feet over the fence of oppression and stuck themselves at the front of the line. I don't know how they did it. I've never heard so much complaining in my life from white women.
The joke clearly highlighted the truth of how entitled people from the left had ruined events that were dedicated to minorities, making themselves the priority in the ceremonies and labeling anyone a racist if they tried to call them out. What started as a movement for justice and equality had been corrupted by the liberals, who forcefully integrated their ideologies and took the spotlight away from the people that were actually oppressed. But Burr was just getting started, as he started bashing the LGBTQ+ community for having a whole month dedicated to themselves, even though their suffering was nothing when compared to the pain and hardships Black people had to endure in the past. Finishing remarks from Burr touched many people, as the monologue highlighted the inequality that was happening to Black people due to the woke mob that dominated mainstream media and the online atmosphere. The woke mob held the power to pressure the senators and media executives, forcing them to prioritize one minority group over the other. Like a Trojan horse, the people of leftist ideologies have been subtly promoting propaganda in news, movies, and shows, slowly brainwashing audience members. But role models like Bill Burr prove that there is still hope for a better future, and it's the right of every American to call out the woke mob's efforts to censor and manipulate free speech, along with preventing them from using minorities as promotional material for their propaganda. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to smash that subscribe button for more insightful discussions.